Hey guys, welcome to Time Tenshi. This is TJ, your gamer girl, signing on. So, I'm pretty sure some of you were wondering what happened to, Sunrider Academy. Well, I wasn't quite into it. Thankfully, my dad understood that, and I let him choose a different game. This is that game. You guys know by now that if I don't enjoy playing a game, I won't continue playing it. That's just me. But this one, I've actually been very curious about. I heard about it at first when I was watching funny moments montages on Lost Pause channel, on the Lost Pause channel, and there were some moments from Time Tenshi that were in it. So, you know, I was curious about it. Excuse me. Good lord, my throat does not want to cooperate with me right now. Now, I want to say one thing before starting the game. Yes, my dad requested that I play this game. Do not judge him for this, okay? I don't want any, like, I'm politely asking, please do not judge my father on this choice. Please. That's all I ask. Now let's begin with that little message out of the way. The day I turned 18, there was a fire. Oh, that's a great start! Hey, that's a great start! Find some potential thumbnails already. It sent smoke climbing up through the sky of my neighborhood. Everyone within a mile could see the damage. The source of the fire was my house. It consumed the backyard, forest nearby, the picket fence surrounding our pristine lawn, and my mother and father. I was raised an only child. My mother, she was a veterinarian, her family coming from a long line of Japanese technicians and scientists. My father was raised in Athens, Georgia. He was a musician turned postman who used to tour the local bars and cafes. All I could do was stand there. I'd gone to go get myself some snacks for the next day when I was planning on going camping with all my friends. We were all going up to the local hiking trail to help marine in my 18th birthday. Obviously, those plans had to be put on hold. Indefinitely. Well, considering your parents just died in a horrible fire, I would assume so. You have a visitor, Mr. Johnson. Who? As I looked up, I noticed a familiar face. Grandpa? He nodded towards the nurse in a dismissive but polite manner. If I may have a minute. Of course. Let me know if you two need anything. Thank you. My, how you've grown since I last saw you, Kenji. It's been a few years, hasn't it? You do remember me, don't you? Yeah. You're the grandfather on my mother's side, Tensai Shiro. Good. Now then, how long have you been kept here? I think 2 weeks now. They're kind of keeping an eye on my mental health or something. It's not every day you see your own house burned down. Grandpa paused awkwardly. Now then, I know you're of legal age to take care of yourself at this point, but I still wanted to offer you room and board in one of my labs back home until you're on your feet. I know it's not a glamorous option, but... Well, Kenji, I'm afraid you can't stay in the hospital for too much longer. Insurance only pays so much, you see. Unfortunately, true. Alright, I'll go. Not as if I really have a choice, do I? I realize these days are very difficult for you, Kenji. I'm not expecting you to come around right away. But it will be somewhere safe to stay. I'll give you work to get things off your mind if you'd like. At the time, I had no idea what my grandfather did. Looking at him, his wrinkled features, his kind but stern face, the truth hit me that I'd hardly ever had any contact with him. He rarely showed up to family gatherings due to business, yet now he was the one coming to take care of me? It didn't make much sense, but at this point I didn't have a choice. Alright, when do we leave? Later that day. Game hint, press H in the middle. Okay, good to know, there's a tutorial. We arrived at the labs Grandpa spoke of. Grandpa and I stood in the elevator for some time, completely silent, until Grandpa spoke up. Now, I have a room all ready for you near the bottom of this building. It has a few essentials set up there. Bed, dresser, spare clothes. I'll give you the full tour once we get down there. So you own this place? I built it, actually. With a lot of help, of course. I've been doing my own personal scientific research, with a lot of time and family inheritance. And government funding, I assume. Grandpa paused briefly. I've tried to make it as independent as possible. So, the government doesn't know about this? How is that? In time, Kenji. For now, you should rest and get settled in. I'll introduce you to my assistants tomorrow. I arrived at my room. Kind of a nice place, in all honesty. It was tastefully decorated considering the building it was in, and featured white walls with a beige carpet. In it was a wooden dresser and a cabinet, as well as a twin mattress. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. I wouldn't mind living here. It was rather inviting, despite being on the small side and inside of a lab facility. On the bed, I noticed a small book. Curious, I picked it up. An old photo album. There's a note on it. Dear Kenji, we were able to salvage this from the incident. We thought it was the right thing to let you own it now. We wish you the best in these difficult times. Unsigned. I took the note off carefully and opened the book. So, this is all that's left, huh? I sat on the bed, looking at the photo album, frowning. Just one photo album survived. I opened the album. These are old, too. My parents' wedding photos. Here's me as a toddler. Itchy ear. The photo was an image of a small child climbing up a tree. Man, I was adventurous, wasn't I? I smirked and turned the page. Adjusting my headset. I'm professional. More family photos. Christmas portraits. Me in that ugly reindeer sweater. There's gonna be that one. There's always gonna be that one. As I turned the page, I began shaking. Me with some old friends. Wonder what they're up to now. I totally bailed on them that day. Hopefully someone told them what happened. I flipped through more pages. This thing was filled out. We didn't have a lot of photos. There were a lot of me. My parents went on vacations, probably before I was born. My dad showing me how to play the guitar. He'd always seen at campfires. As I looked, little damp marks became apparent on the surfaces of the pictures. My teardrops. I slammed the book shut and set it aside before throwing myself onto the bed. Of all the people that it could happen to, why did it have to be me? As I paused, tears began streaming down my face. More importantly, why did it have to be them? Next morning. Kenji? That's the best I can do, just... Kenji, your grandfather wanted you to get up now. I have no idea who this is, so I'll just use my regular voice until I find out. I don't blame you for being so sleepy, but it's time to get going. Ow! Ah! Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was just... What did you hit me with? Oh. Well, hello, cutie pie. I think your name's Kyo. I stared at the girl for a second, and she stared back. She was a small, short girl with a PSP. Seriously, that looks like a PSP to me. I have no idea what's in her other hand, though. It's either a makeup... One of those makeup thingies where you pat it and put... No, not the powder one. It looks like when you're putting foundation on. I think... After a few seconds of silence, I felt my cheeks blushing red. Who... Oh, I'm sorry. We haven't met yet, have we? She bowed to me in greeting, in the traditional Japanese style. My name's Kyo. I'm one of the assistants for your grandfather. But you're so... What? Short? Look, just cause I'm not super tall like all the other assistants doesn't mean... No, that's not what I meant. I meant more like, you seem so young to be helping my grandpa. Oh, well, Vicky, I think. I know the whole height thing might make me look like 12 or whatever, but I'm actually all grown up. Seriously. Oh, I can see that. I mean, sorry, then. Don't worry about it. People do it all the time. You didn't know. Now, come on. Tensei wants to see you in the lab and meet the other girls. Other girls? Before I could say anything else, she took me by the hand and pulled me out of my bed, leading me into the hallway, then down towards the large doorway. We went through it, and when I saw what was inside, I was left nearly speechless. What is all this? A whole hell of a lot of complicated equipment. This, Kenji, is my main laboratory. Welcome to our greatest creation. I looked out at everything in front of me. In the center of the room was a large round platform, several steps surrounding its perimeter for its slight elevation. A whole assortment of tubes and wires trailed off from it and into the other parts of the machine. A large chrome furnace-like device plated with clean white linoleum, lined. I almost said leaned. And I actually did. I said lined and leaned at the same time. The back wall. On the opposite side was a long array of large computer monitors, keyboards, and control panels lining the desks and shelves beneath them. The generator was also in the room on the other far wall. It took me a second to process what I was seeing. It looked as if it was something out of a science fiction movie. So, what does it do? Well, Kenji, it's a bit difficult to explain. It travels back in time! What? Yes, that is the simplistic way of putting it. The long answer is that it is a device which, using particle fusion in order to diffuse the stability of... come on, say... Again, don't know who this is, I'm using my normal voice. If I don't know who it is... Normal voice. Once I get an idea who it is, I'll give them a voice. Come on, save it, Gramps. I don't think the guy can take that much at a time. A woman's voice spoke up. I could see her manning the long array of monitors with a smirk on her face. Oh, hi! Why? You either look like a dominatrix or a dominatrix. Her purplish red hair caught my attention immediately, wavy and down beneath her shoulders, but her piercing yellow eyes and pale complexion radiated from her too. My name is Michelle, Guy. I'm the commander and operations manager here in Gramps' lab. Always so abrasive, Michelle. Whatever you say, old man. So, wait, hold on. You're telling me that you built a time machine? Like I said, that's the short version. But it's still the accurate version, right? That was Kenji, not Tensai. I suppose so. Time machines usually imply the freedom of movement throughout any time stream. We've only developed this one far enough to go into the past. Just as he said that, the platform at the center began to glow. Dim at first, it slowly brightened up until it was nearly blinding. Buzzers and alarms started blaring all around us. About time she showed back up! I could barely make out the silhouette of Michelle furiously typing and reaching around to operate the several different monos around her. So is this gonna be another one of your assistants? Oh. Well, hello! We have the literal White Knight. In all honesty, it's still not as skimpy as Naga the Serpent's armor. Just better pauldrons, in all honesty. In case you don't know what pauldrons are, they're the shoulder plates. These things right here. These are called pauldrons. Just in case. Also, why is she reaching out to me? You want to shake hands? Hi, how you doing? I'm Kenji. Just as my ears began to ring, the light stopped, revealing a voluptuous woman wobbling onto the platform. Voluptuous is correct. Well, that takes care of that. I couldn't take my eyes off her as she walked down off the platform. She seemed to be looking directly at me, a fire in her eyes. A look of almost of seduction? Of someone like me, a guy she didn't know? Ah, you must be Kenji. Tensai told us that you were coming to stay with us. She lifted my chin with her fingertips, lightly as she spoke, giving me what looked like a seductive smile. Yeah, Rose, come over here this instant! I saw the girl roll her eyes as she turned on her heel to face Michelle. What do you want now, Michelle? I'd appreciate it if you let up on the sass, Rose. Now go to your room and get back into normal attire. You know the drill. You're such a buzzkill, you know that? What if I like wearing the outfit, huh? I took a closer look at her getup. It seemed to be plated armor, but somehow it was still incredibly risque. The metal it was made of seemed to be very flexible. It covered much of her torso, except for some large openings. This, of course, led me to think on how something like this could even possibly protect her. Don't worry! Typical RPG, the bikini armor is always the best. Like, plus, like, level 5, like, max level raise in HP, defense. Stealing something from Lost Paws when in Budoka Girls pole dancing, because that was the best joke I could think of. Like what you see? She posed, sticking her hip out to the side. She must have noticed my staring. Rose, leave him be and go change. Right now. That's an order. Ugh, fine. Have it your way, Michelle. I watched as she stomped her way out, wide hips swinging briskly in rhythm to her steps, as the armor pieces whisked from side to side above her long legs. So, how is that practical again? What do you mean? Well, her armor seemed to kind of... It isn't meant to be armor. It's a type of flexible attire that can bend and morph itself to match her body's current shape. She just happened to design it after a suit of armor. Trust me, I find it to be just as ridiculous as you do. Huh. She doesn't always act like that. The time window has some weird effects on us whenever we go through it and come back. The longer we spend through time, the more we change. How is that? Michelle can explain it in more detail later. For now, I want to show you the rest of your living quarters. Come with me now. Kyo, stick with me and help me clean up over here, alright? Aw, no fair! On the west wing, we have the cafeteria. The north wing holds the living quarters. The east wing consists of restroom, showers, and fitness/entertainment area. Finally, the south wing is the experimental laboratory, where we conduct other research. Not used as much now that we have the time window figured out, but it still comes in handy now and then. So, wait, I still can't believe any of this. How did you make time travel? How is something like that even possible? Well, Kenji, have you ever heard the old Japanese proverb, Minogahana? In English, not seen is a flower. I don't believe so. Well, what it roughly means is, reality can't compete with imagination. True enough. He paused, letting the words sink in for a moment. I too believe time travel to be nothing more than a fallacy. Something that humans could only dream of, make movies of, write stories about. But as I delved more into my research in physics, I began to see things that my other colleagues and the theorists of the past could never seem to see. I started to piece together, one by one, until I had finally found the solution. Once I had my solution, the only remaining thing necessary was to execute it. This took much of my wealth and investment. To develop something that could trump reality. Something only thought to exist within imagination. And it was worth every penny. I nodded, still slightly confused, but at least I knew his intentions. So, how long did it take to make all of this? Altogether, roughly 27 years, if I'm not mistaken. I tried to go solo, believe it or not, and it just wasn't working. So, I went out and looked for some of the most brilliant minds I could possibly find around the globe. And those three there are just that. Them? Why so surprised, Kenji? Don't let the looks deceive you. Those girls are some of the most intelligent beings this world has to offer. Those three, as well as myself, were able to construct a working time machine single-handedly. But Kyo said she wasn't that old. Well, I should be a bit more precise. My estimations and theory started long ago while I was still in college. It took me around 25 years to finalize the correct theories and map blueprints for the machine. To gather resources and funds, all of those things. The girls were able to build the machine with me, with my guidance, in around 2 years at the most. Wow. Just then, I felt a pair of warm hands slip their way around my neck as a soft body pressed against my neck. My back. Technically, the back of my neck. I felt heat flood my cheeks immediately. Oh, I think we know who. I think we have an idea as to who that might be. Why, hello there, new guy. Hello there, Rose. Ooh, somebody's nervous. That's so cute, you know that? Why? She looks like a maid now. Her arm slipped away as she walked around me to see me from the front. And now that I got a good look at her, the curve she had before seemed to have deflated a bit. And maybe it was just because she was wearing a new outfit now. Tim's not giving you the grand tour, I see. Yeah. Huh, well, I hope you feel at home here. I know I do. With that, she hugged me again before stepping away towards North Ring. You'll have to excuse Rose. She hasn't quite gotten over the effects of the time window yet. What effects? I feel like that's something important I should know. In time, Kenshi, I promise. There's only so much I can tell you at once. The fact that you have to process the time machines exist should be enough for now. I hesitated before realizing that, yeah, he was pretty much right. So, now what? Well, since you're going to be here for a while, I figured you may want to get to know the girls while I go out and pick up some essentials for the lab. You could probably find Kyo in the entertainment lounge, and Rose looked like she was heading towards her room. Michelle will be in the main lab, of course. Take your time and get to know them, okay? Alright, thank you. He started to walk away, but I turned to call to him. Grandpa! Really, thank you. I appreciate you helping me. It's nothing, Kenji. Don't worry about it. Just rest easy for today, alright? Alright. Who should I visit first? I should go see what Kyo is up to. She seemed nice to me for what little I saw of her. Hey there, Kyo! Oh! Okay, potential thumbnail number 2. I'll probably use the one of Rose, in all honesty, for the first episode.
Hiya, Kenji! Everything okay?
As okay as I can be after you were told that time travel is possible.
Oh, yeah, I have to agree. The whole idea was pretty crazy to me too when your grandpa first told me about it. But then I started working with Rose and Michelle and, well, it sort of made sense, I guess.
How did my grandpa find you guys anyway?
Well, from what he told us, he went scouting for some of the greatest young minds that he could possibly find. Me? I was going to the University of Tokyo, studying to become an engineer, like the other girls who work here. One day he approached me and offered me a once-in-a-lifetime deal. He explained it in more detail, of course. Not like I was going to let some old guy just take me away from higher education.
Ah, so... is the University of Tokyo anything like American universities?
Funny you should ask. You see, in Japan, public universities are seen as much more prestigious than private ones.
Why is that?
I'd rather not go too deep into the history of Japan today. Maybe sometime later?
They take their education seriously. I'm not kidding. Like, your last year of high school, you are preparing to enter college, and you take the entrance exam when you're done. I'm not kidding. Alright, sorry.
Don't be silly, it's fine. Anyways, was there anything else you needed to know?
So why did Grandpa have this thing set up? Do you guys live down here or something?
Yep, he provides us room and board, but we're obviously allowed to go back up into normal society and do things as well. We're not slaves or anything, so I hope you didn't think of it like that.
Oh, no, of course not. I didn't take my grandfather as that sort of person.
Good. He takes real good care of us, respects us, and keeps the place clean, and makes sure everything is in working order. He even let me bring some of my gaming consoles and anime DVDs down here, which was super sweet of him.
Oh? What games do you play?
Oh, all kinds. I like platformers a lot, though. And puzzle games. I've never been one for shooters, but I don't mind if they're creative enough. It's mostly just because I suck at them.
Yeah, I'm not so good at shooters either. Oh, what animes do you usually watch? Animes? Okay, sure.
Oh, that's tough. Well, I like those silly drama ones with a lot of fan service and stuff.
Ecchi?
They can be a lot of fun to watch sometimes just because of how over the top they are.
You don't say. You enjoy fan service?
I just find it funny. How over the top it can be to just get it so the guy's face is directly underneath the girl's skirt. I mean, how silly can you get?
Typical ecchis. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Kenji, what are you thinking about?
Nothing.
Okay. Did you have anything else that you wanted to ask me?
What exactly happens to you guys when you go through the time window?
Oh, well, Michelle is more of an expert than I am on the, scientific stuff. But from my experience, it's kind of like being drunk, I guess? Like, not blackout drunk or anything. It's just, I get all woozy and start saying things that I normally wouldn't say and do things I normally wouldn't do. Like I said, you'll have to talk to Michelle if you want to know the science behind it. I just know that's how I feel. Oh, also, my boobies get huge! My boobies get huge. I started laughing as soon as I read that, so I'm sorry if it sounded really high-pitched. You okay?
Fine. Just didn't expect that.
I think it's fun. I'm so used to them being this size that whenever I go through a time window and they get all big like that, it's really, really funny to me. Was there anything else you wanted to ask me?
I think that's about all for now. I'm gonna go chat with some of the other girls. Get to know them a bit.
Aw, okay. But come back so we can watch this together, okay? Bye!